and had probably never seen the ocean before. Akasha came from a nation of dancers, musicians, and poets, and he was educated. His father was an elder and chief. His home, his land, was uncommonly rich and fruitful and produced all kinds of vegetables in great abundance. The women were beautiful goddesses. The men were warriors and scholars. His people believed that there was one creator of all things and that he lived in the sun, but his ancestors practiced African black magic. Akasha had a future with hope and dreams. Now his fate was uncertain. Akasha's breathing was faint as he sweated profusely, lying on his back naked, shackled, and bruised. He was sick, dying with wounds to his neck and chest. They appeared to be bite marks and deep scratches, and there was an unfathomable pain coursing inside of him. Akasha lay there, restricted with sorrow and uncertainty. He thought about his wife and his children. He would give anything to kiss and touch his wife one last time, to hear his children's laughter and experience their playful banter. He loved them more than life itself. Now, it all was lost. Akasha mumbled a quiet prayer to himself, praying to the 7 African powers and specific deities. He feebly murmured in his African language, "Almighty Allah, the great thumb we cannot evade to tie in a knot, the roaring thunder that splits mighty trees, the all-seeing Allah up on high who sees even the footprints of antelope on a rock mass here on earth. You are the one who does not hesitate to respond to our call. You are the cornerstone of peace and protection. Protection for our children born or to be born to the great mother Yemaya, and love, prosperity, and abundance to the Queen Oshun, so that it is never missing." Akasha reflected on his mortal life, knowing it would all be gone soon. A sudden chill went down his spine, and he saw a shadow fly over him. He could sense his soul drifting away from his body, ready to take him to a peaceful place, into the next world, protecting him. His eyes fluttered. Sweat continued to drip from his skin, and before he closed his eyes for the final time, Akasha smiled and uttered, "Soon, my love, I'll come back to you." He then took his last jagged breath, closed his eyes slowly, and slipped away into his endless sleep, giving himself away to darkness. Hours passed. The moon at midnight tried to break through the pall of the clouds, and the Abigail pitched and bucked in headwinds and seas, coasting in the black and calm night. All was well on the vessel. A few men were asleep, while some were on guard duty. The ship's captain, Sir Francis Hawkins, had taken comfort with one of the slave girls in his quarters. He was king on this vessel. Sir Francis Hawkins held absolute power over every individual on his ship. His responsibilities were extensive, and his friendships were few. He couldn't afford to appear vulnerable to his officers, crew, or the enslaved Africans. Mostly every night, Captain Hawkins had one of the youngest slave girls brought to his quarters, where he would rape them. He pleasured himself during the journey with slaves and food. At the same time, his crew was abused and mistreated. Below the deck, the deterioration of black men continued with despair and desperation in the cramped holds. There were a few dead, including Akasha. But then, his eyes opened abruptly, and the deceased had become awakened. His eyes were perfectly black with no whites at all. The purity of something changed, and evil was within them, lacking humanity. Instead, it was something demonic and possessed. Akasha pried open his restraints with tremendous strength and tossed the hampering neck and leg irons aside. He was hungry and hell-bent on revenge. The door into the below-deck slave area opened, and 2 crew members descended into the room. Unfortunately, they were immediately hit with an ungodly stench and started to cough, gag, and cover their mouths. "Damn, they all smell. I never smelled anything like this in my life," uttered Jonathan, the youngest of the crew, 15 years old. "The captain wants us to check for the dead. Remove